Basically, the reason I chose rehabilitation physical therapy was because I found out that there was a group that was neglected completely. Nobody cared. And also myself, being from a very poor family, and I've experienced a lot of poverty, I love to dedicate myself to help other people. I choose physiotherapy. And my experience here was really very, very positive. In that, it's a good feeling to get somebody who cannot do something, somebody who cannot walk, to walk. To get somebody who was unable to either go to school, be able to walk and go to school.
What are the qualifications you have?
I have a bachelor's degree in physiotherapy, master's in special education with specialization in mental retardation, doctorate in rehabilitation. The experience there was really very, very enriching. I found that rehabilitation in Europe and in Africa are two different things. In Europe, disability has been prevented in most cases, especially when a child is born disabled. They take care of it very fast. In Africa here, since there are no specialists to do it, they are neglected. That's why one of the reasons why you have many disabled children there. So when I went there, the experience wasn't as challenging as in Africa.
Oh no.
Here is really challenging. In fact, I have had physiotherapists come from abroad. When they see what I do, most of them say they have to come here and learn how to do physiotherapy again. There's certain things they wouldn't just attempt to do, or they have never even seen or read only in books.
I guess you wish a lot of parents would bring their children to you a lot earlier than they do.
In fact, when we talk about prevention, when a child is brought earlier, it's easy to correct the deformities. I would love to start when a child is about 1 week to 2 months. It's easier to correct. But when they stay longer, the human body, the deformation, the human body auto-regulates itself, tries to adapt itself so that the patient can move. Maybe the adaptation might be that the bone will be curved like that to permit the patient to walk. It becomes very difficult at a certain age. So one of our mission is to go from village to village and educate and sensitize the families to bring children earlier for rehabilitation. And if we had a car to go to villages, we'll be able to meet more disabled children. We'll be able to educate the public and convince the parents that disability can be treated, and in some cases even cured.
Assieds-toi bien, les fesses ne passent pas. Assieds-toi. Rentre.
Is that painful?
Yes, it's painful. Mets tes fesses en terre. Pose le fesses. Prends le coussin là, tu mets par ici.
Trying to straighten the leg.
Ça va, elle est bien. La méchante femme là.
It looks very simple, but it's one of the most difficult because the child was poorly positioned in the womb, and the bones too have been deformed. They took a poor shape. So it takes time to soften the Achilles tendon, put it in plaster, do wedging, and do splinting. It's a treatment that takes long.
And how long?
It's going to take about 6 months to have his feet.
6 months.
Yeah. When we do this, they put splints, they will go home and then come back for control until we are satisfied and remove the...
How often will she have to come in?
Right now we do the stretching 5 times a week.
Right.
It's going to be for 2-3 weeks. Then we put plaster. Then we do the wedging. When we wedge onto the feet are in good position, then we remove the plaster and put splints.
Yeah.
They maintain the feet in the proper position, around 90 degrees. And the bone, with time, start reforming.
Yeah.
Yes. So this one had a fall in a well. No, here we don't have, we use well water because of the lack of pipe-borne water. Because you dig well. He went to get some water from the well and fell into the well and had a spinal cord injury and got paralyzed. All the lower limbs were paralyzed and he became incontinent. And he also had some rib injuries. He was in bed for 2 good years. He couldn't even move or tongue. So the parents were really family was really suffering.
Yes.
They had to be somebody always by him.
What have you been able to do for him?
What we did was we took him here, re-educated. The legs were already atrophied. We straightened the legs, rebuilt most muscles, and then put splints, lower limb splints, calipers, and trained him to walk with crutches. And then taught him how to manage his bowel and urine. And now he's going back to school. He's pretty intelligent. He's doing well now. He's in the lower 6.
Can you tell me about this boy?
This boy has a deformation that is called varus knees. When the knees actually, the deformation is at the level of the knee, and the legs bulge out laterally and develop what is known as genovarum. This problem is very common in the West Province. That's one of the problems I was telling you that we might have to do an inquiry to find out why.
Oh, yes.
It's very common here.
Right.
And we do not know the cause yet. So it leaves a subject for future inquiry, which is really very important and will help us in preventing disability, this kind of problems in children. When you get out in the morning on the street, you see lots of children with this thing going to school. Unfortunately, they don't know that services like this one do exist. That's where we also have quite a lot of work to go around, informing schools, churches, and many women groups that this service is available to help this kind of children. So this problem, when left for some time, the bones, the tibia, start curving too, to such an extent that you see a child walking like this.
Oh, yes, yes, I've seen that.
The feet too become deformed.
And you can see in this last picture his legs are quite straight.
They are quite straight, straighter than mine, ma'am.